We covered this a little bit in the first class if you took the first module, but we're going to go through it in a little bit more detail. The first class had a PowerPoint for this, and what we're going to do is actually make some little buildings. And it's a good exercise in box modeling because it covers everything that you'll need to know when you get into the organic shapes, but it's pretty easy to make little buildings. In the example file you'll see two buildings here. They're just made-up buildings. They're nothing in particular. But they're all box model. There's really nothing going on here except for some simple vertex deformations and polygon extrusions. For the most part, some merged points. Nothing's fancy. What I'm going to do is go in here, select both of these. I'm going to delete both of these. They're just samples. And if you unhide all by right-clicking, you'll see that we have a pink box here, a ground plane, and some lights. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this ground plane as well because I don't need it for this particular project. If you want the ground plane there, you can. And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and select those Omni lights and hide those as well. I'm going to go in here and say hide selection. That way my viewport tools will work just fine. So there we go. Okay, now all we're really going to do with this box, select it. I'm also going to change the color. I'm not real fond of that pink color. And I'm going to convert this to an edit poly. And all I'm going to do, now I don't really have a particular building in mind, which is good, so I'm just going to start extruding some polygons. I've just held down Control and left-clicked on these polygons. Go down to Bevel. You can use Extrude if you want, but Bevel will give you a little bit more power. And what I'm going to do is just lengthen these out under Height, and then Outline, I'm going to zero that out, and that'll make them come straight out at right angles. So nothing that we haven't done before, and just say OK. Now I'm going to grab a few more polygons here and make like a second level to this. I think, actually I'm going to grab these two. And I'm going to go to Bevel. I'm just doing this by eyeball. We're not really trying to make anything particular here. Now, once I've extruded them up here with zero outline, I'm going to hit Apply again, and now I'm going to start modeling it. So I'm going to bring these in, hit Apply again, Height's going to go up a little bit, outline can go to 0. That makes it go straight up. Rotate this around so we can see it a little bit better with that lighting there. There we go. And hit Apply again. I'm going to bring this down to 0 and bring this in. Hit OK for that. And I think what I'm going to do, go back to Bevel, and I'm going to make this come down. My outline amount once again is going to be 0, so I have a straight down lip there. Hit Apply. Height's going to be 0. That brings it back up to where we just were. And I'm going to pinch this in a little bit, I think. Yeah, that's okay. I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now. There we go. So we've got the start of a building. I'm going to go over to this side of the building, grab this whole piece here. I'm going to bevel this out a little bit. Under Outline, I want it at 0. And it's just going to come out a little bit. And what I'm going to do immediately with this, rotate this around so I can get a hold of these vertexes right here at the edge. Make sure that I only got those at the edge. I got a few down here as well. Deselect these. I don't want the bottom ones, just the top ones. Oops, there we go. Holding down Alt right now to deselect those. And I'm just going to pull this down. See how we just kind of model with vertexes and polygons. It's a really easy way to make box models. That's why we call them box models. In this case, what I'm going to do, I want a ledge to come out on this side like a patio. So I'm going to grab these. No, I'm not. I'm going to grab these here. I'm going to use connect for this. It's going to go right up here. And now I'm going to go down here to connect. And you'll see it makes a line. Now in Max 8, if you're using Max 7, you'll still have connect, but it won't have these two controls. In Max 8, they've introduced this slide feature, which is really nice, so I can kind of slide it up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make two connections. I'm going to pinch them together, and then I'm going to slide them up so that I've got a little bit of a ledge left there. Hit OK. And I'm going to grab these guys, bevel them straight out under height, outline amount is 0, not that far. There we go. And hit OK. And you can see we're starting to get this looking like what we want. I'm going to hop out here to my 4 views and hit Zoom Extents All. I'm going to grab this area right here all the way across, and I'm going to go back to Connect. And I'm going to make a very small piece here using 2 segments and slide it up towards the top. Okay. Go back here. And this is going to be a little indentation. Whoops. Select that all the way around. I could have selected this in a front or a left view. And we're going to bevel this in. Now we're going to use local normal for this, because remember, local normal is what will allow us to control it on all sides fairly equally. And I'm just going to pinch it in a little bit here. I can't quite see what I've done. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. So now I've got like a little ledge built in there. Starting to look like a building of some sort. I'm going to continue over here with my patio. I'm going to grab these polygons right here. This time I'm going to use bevel, but I'm going to do by polygon. The height's going to be 0, and I'm going to pinch these in. And these are going to be the beginnings of the posts that will hold the patio up. So they're going to be pretty small. There we go. And I'm going to grab a few of these vertexes. Make sure I didn't get anything else up here. I'm holding down Alt and grabbing everything up above just to make sure I didn't grab anything by mistake. And we'll just slide these guys in. I have gotten asked why I use the buttons so much and not the key commands. And there's a couple reasons. I do use key commands a lot when I'm working on my own. The reason I use the key commands in the videos and in the classes I teach is so that when these things are projected at the front of the class or in these videos, you know what I'm doing. If I used key commands, you wouldn't really know what I was doing. Things would just happen. And I personally have taken a lot of classes where the teacher did use key commands, and I think, of course, using key commands, you need to do that. I try to include those in the class as much as possible when I remember to tell you what they are. But I don't like it when instructors do it because it gets really hard to figure out what it was they just did. And so I try to always use, that's not what we wanted to do. I had the wrong angle here. Which one is it? We've got like an optical illusion happening here. There we go. It's always kind of bugged me when instructors do that because I don't know what they're doing, and so when I'm trying to take notes, I don't know what it is they just did. Okay, I'm going to hop back over here to my 4 view. The one I really want is this one because I'm going to extrude these down. I'm going to use bevel. Outline's going to be 0, and height's going to push these down, and they're going to go all the way down to the ground. I think what I'll do here is add a little post, so I'll hit apply. Well, height's going to be 0. Outline amount's going to come out. You can see it coming out over here. There we go. Hit apply. And the outline amount's going to be 0. And I keep doing this zeroing back and forth. That'll give me a little post there. And so now I have a little shaded area for my people that live in my little building. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add some details to this building and start kind of making it look a little bit more livelier. And these are some good tricks. Again, this is all really made so that when you get into the organic stuff, creatures, characters, you'll be able to maneuver around a lot better. I'm using a connect here. I want my pinch at 0. And what I'm doing here is trying to slide this guy over. There he goes. Okay, it's right here. If you can't see it, it's going to be hard to see on the video, I bet. And what I'm going to do is now come in here under polygon. I'm going to grab these polygons here and delete them. Okay. Yeah, had to make sure I was doing what I wanted to do. And then I'm going to pull some of these pieces out. So I'm going to go to Vertex, and I'm going to go to Target Weld, and I'm going to weld a few of these together, like so, and start to make this building look a little bit more interesting. I think I'm going to weld these guys together here. Oops. Get off a weld. There we go. I'm wondering over here what I want to do with these walls. I think what I'm going to do is move this piece and this piece over like so. And then I'm going to grab these two little vertices here, hit weld, bump the threshold up. I'm looking at these numbers here, and when it goes down to 300, where there was 301, I know it's welded because I have one less vertice. There we go, and I think I want to do something with this wall here. I'm not particularly happy with the way that looks. I think what I'll do is just move these pieces out. Like so. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So you can see how we can start maneuvering these pieces around when we get these. Oops, I got a mistake over here. Just saw that. That was a vertex that was selected by accident somewhere along the way. Okay, so we've started extruding this out. Now, you can do really neat things with these box modeling tools. I'm going to grab these two pieces here. Why not these two? I'll grab these 4 pieces up at the top. And I'm going to hit bevel, make them come up, hit apply, and we'll make a small little like pagoda type structure here. We're going to keep zeroing things out as we go up. Actually, I'm doing this by polygon, and I don't want to do it by polygon. I want to do it by group. There we go. Okay. There we go. So I'm doing it by group now. And apply. There we go. Apply. This one's going to be 0. Extrude it up. We'll hit apply again. This time, bring the height down. It's going to go back out. Hit apply again. The outline amount's going to be 0. Hit apply again. Bring these all in. Outline amount's going to be 0. No, height's going to be 0. Sorry about that. Outline amount's going to come in, and you can see we're getting these neat little structures like this. Interesting. And then I'm going to hit apply again. This time I'm going to just bring it down a little bit and make a tiny little rim along the top. Okay, now I want to do some of those curve structures on this. Something like buttresses coming out of these sides, just so you can see how that's done. And I'm going to grab, no I'm not, I'm going to grab these here. Staring at this, making sure that's what I want to do. I'm going to grab those two. And then I'm going to go to connect. And I'm going to put 2 connections in each one. I'm going to slide them so they're pretty much in the middle. I'm going to get in here. These are crooked here because I've got a crooked side, which is just fine. All I'm going to do is grab these guys here, and actually I got to do each one separate. I'm going to go to scale, and I'm just going to scale those in along the axis that they're crooked on to get them straight. See how I'm doing that? And this guy can move over a little bit, I think. Okay, I'm going to grab all of these that I just made. I'm going to go to connect again, and I'm going to slide these up, and I want the pinch, I want them square, so they're going to be about like that. Now remember, this is not in Max 7. You'll have to move those by hand in Max 7. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to make these little buttress pieces coming out of here. You could do this with extrude along spline. I think it takes too long to make the spline myself, so I tend to do it this way. I'm going to I think what I'm going to do is inset these a little bit. I'm thinking, trying to make this more interesting. Oh well, I'll just extrude these straight out. And what I'm going to do is just extrude them straight out. You can see them a little better there. Hit apply, and I'm kind of thinking in terms of what the final shape here is going to be. I think I'm going to do something like that. There we go. Hit OK. I'm going to hop back over here to my 4 views. And I want this view here is actually the one that I want. There we go. And now I'm on the side view, my left view. And what I'm going to do is just rotate these slowly and then reposition them. I could change the pivot point on these if I wanted to, if that makes it easier for you to figure out what's going on. You'll see I'm going to end up maneuvering these around quite a bit. Whoops, that's the wrong way. So this is going to come down. All of these here are going to go, oops, I missed one. Okay. Hitting a bunch of buttons for nothing here. There we go. And I'm just going to rotate these up. Rotate this around. There we go. That's what I'm after, is a shape something like this. I'm going to pull these out. And you can see that I've got some pieces here. I'll zoom in here. See, they're crooked. That's just part of the modeling process. I'm just going to fix them. It's no big deal. You just get in there and fix them. And make them look the way that you want it to look. Deciding if I like that better than that. I think I like that better. Okay? And back out here, go to this view, and you can see we have, if I click the right button, there we go. You can see we have those little buttress pieces coming out of there. If we want one last piece here that will do, we'll grab, there we go, this is a shortcut. I'm going to grab all these pieces right through here. I want all those middle pieces. That's good. There we go. Don't want that one. Okay, and I don't want these or these. Okay, and I'm going to connect these. Thinking how I want to do this right now. I think what I'm going to have to do is deselect that one as well. And I'm going to connect these. Slide the connection over, pinch it in a little bit. There we go. And I'm also going to select this one and this one. Hit connect, so it makes a new piece here, and this one, I want that one, and that one, and hit connect, and it's going to make the same connection I made before there. And what I'm going to do, go back to polygon, is select those new polygons that I made. One more. That one, and we're going to use bridge here. So I'm going to delete those. Flip this around, make sure I deleted the right things. Okay, I did. And now I'm going to use this opening. You can see I can grab this opening here and this opening. Yeah, let's use bridge. And we will use specific borders. And what I'm going to do is pick edge 1, which is this one, and edge 2, which is this one. And you can see that it makes a bridge across there. And if I want to add segments to it and taper it, I can do that here. So 3 and negative 1.5. And I'm going to use bridge again. Use specific borders. Pick edge 1 and edge 2. And it makes the same setting. So we've connected those. That's the bridge function. The bridge function can make some pretty complicated little objects. So there's another building that we've made, and of course we could keep going with this. This is just an exercise. So try to make something like a little building. It's a good exercise for practicing your edge modeling with, or not edge modeling, your box modeling, and get used to using connect, bridge, cap we didn't use, but we've seen it before. Chamfer is another one we didn't use, but you've seen it before. All of those will be helpful here in the near future when we start making our